I played the Resident Evil 5 demo about a year ago with my friend. We both thought that the game would be good for a co-op session since he moved away several years ago. There were two versions of Resident Evil 5 out at the time, the regular edition and the gold edition. I settled on the gold edition version since it had more content. One of my friends who lives nearby told me I could borrow it for a while since he wasn't playing with it anymore. Hey, I don't have to pay for it. Pretty sweet deal, right? I was wrong. I put the disc on into my PS3 and it booted to the main menu. I decided to start the co-op session right away with a friend who lives in another state. We watched the first opening cutscene and went into the first level, me being Chris and my friend being Shiva. Right off the bat, something was obscure about it. Shiva kept saying thanks, thanks over and over again. I asked my friend if he was doing it, and he said no. I thought it was a glitch or something and moved on. Then I noticed something else. In the inventory screen, the weapons always showed zero ammo, even if you reloaded your gun. Again, I didn't think much of it. As we made our way through hordes of zombies, I started to become a little peeved. The screams of the zombies sounded unnaturally realistic, very different from the demo I played. I was getting tired, so we called it a night and stopped at chapter 3:1. The next morning I played some more, solo this time. The weird thing was Shiva was nowhere to be found. 5 minutes after playing, the screen turned completely white. Then I saw Shiva again. Like yesterday, she kept saying thanks, thanks, over and over again. I continued to walk towards the white space, but Shiva kept reappearing in front of me. That same damn annoying thanks, thanks. I was running out of ideas on what the hell to do at that point, so I just decided to shoot Shiva to see if I would get any reaction. Apparently friendly fire was on or something, and she fainted. I was brought to the game over screen, thinking, what the fuck? At that point, I was genuinely scared, and decided to wait till my friend got on until I played again. We decided to try out the DLC, Lost in Nightmares this time. I was Chris Redfield, he was Jill Valentine. Lost in Nightmares in itself is a little creepy, but while I was trying to find keys to open doors, my screen went completely red. A dark red color that lasted for 5 seconds. My friend didn't experience it. Anyway, we get into the final boss fight in Lost of Nightmares. When my screen started to go completely white again, this time I see Jill saying thanks, thanks, exactly like Shiva did. I hit a game over screen, and my friend tells me that he has been kicked out of the session. I'm going to ask the guy who let me borrow this game a few questions. Update, July 8th, 2011. Okay guys, the situation is getting more and more supernatural by the moment. So I decided to call my friend up who let me borrow the game to ask him a few questions about it. He wouldn't answer his phone, which was strange because he never had anything going on. I checked the disc again to make sure there weren't any scratches or dirt on the disc. It was perfectly clean. Yesterday, the only thing I could do was to put the disc into my tray slot and see what unfolds from there. The, this time, the main menu to the game won't even show up. It was just complete darkness. I still heard the creepy eerie music that you get at the main menu of Resident Evil 5. I waited for about 2 minutes, then the screen started to show varying colors, going from black to red to blue to green, then to the actual main menu where I could see the options. I decided to do a co-op session on the main story, this time with a randomly selected person online. He also had a microphone. Call this coincidental or not, but all I heard on his end was screaming. The kind of screaming you would expect to hear from a little girl. I sent him or her the message asking what was up, and he told me he didn't have a microphone plugged in. I couldn't take the screaming piercing through my ears anymore. I unplugged my speakers. We made our way through chapter 3-2. It was about that moment when the textures of the game started to become misshapen. Some of the objects would disappear in and out, like the vases you get supplies from. The ground would also disappear in and out, making it look like I was standing on thin air. We finished 3-3 and my partner left. I was alone this time, playing through 4-1. I think the game started going haywire. The textures would constantly change to different environments. 1 minute I was in a lake, the next a village. Then Shiva just completely stopped following me. I tried everything. She was still as a statue. I tried to shoot her to get her to move. Then I heard the same damn screaming again. It was too realistic. Now the screen turned completely white again. This time though, there were different routes to take. There were 4 black entrances to go into. I decided to take the one on the far right. I must have walked through the blackness for 2 full minutes. Then I was back at 1-1, only everything was completely still. The zombies would not move. It's like they were frozen. Then I saw completely Then what I saw completely got me to stop playing. As I made it further, the zombies started to move again, but moved without their heads, like they would do for a few seconds regularly, but this time until you shot them to death. I had a nightmare last night about that scream.